Hey everybody, CivilGear here. Today I'm talking about Fenix's TK25, the R&B version. I'm super excited to be trying this out. I've been just waiting to get a flashlight with some bright colors, and if you're like me, you want to check this out. I'll be going over the user interface, some features of the light, and my thoughts, and I'll be trying out this separately available accessory, the remote pressure switch. For more information and pictures and thoughts, check out my WordPress blog at civilgear.wordpress.com. Alright, let's get in the user interface. The Fenix TK25 has two basic primary modes, has white mode and color mode. And you switch between those two by rotating the head or the body 90 degrees. And you can just basically rotate it as many times as you want. It just goes around and around. There's a little W and a little C if you want to see which one you're going to start off in. And so we're off in the white mode. We've got the tactical switch to turn on and off the light, and then we have a mode switch button, which is off to the side, kind of like on an angled plane here. And it just has one press. So let's go on and switch on the light. It also has a momentary, so you can just do a half press. But let's latch it on, and you press the mode button to rotate between the different levels, and you can turn it off. But you can also switch to the other color mode while you have the white mode on, so that's pretty neat. And if you flip back to the white mode, it actually still has mode memory. It knows the last level you were on, so I think that's pretty neat. So in the color mode, we've got red, though, and blue, which I'm really excited about. Turn the light off, though, turn the light back on, it goes back to red. So there's no mode memory on the color primary mode. Right, so going into kind of the sub profiles within each, kind of going back to the white. If you have the light on and you hold down the mode button, you'll get a strobe, which is a little bit different. It has kind of a random fast and then a flash in between pattern, so it alternates between the two. So I'll stop that, and it latches, so you let go and it keeps going. So sorry for the strobe there. With the light off, still in white mode, if you hold down the mode button, you get strobe. Switch to the color mode. If you're on in the color mode, if you flip through, say maybe blue, hold down the mode button, does nothing. Maybe a missed opportunity there. So let's turn it off. But if you hold down the mode button, you get high red momentarily, as long as you hold it down. So that's the basic user interface. And taking a look at the body of the flashlight, I'm really enjoying this diamond knurling. It actually has a little bit of an edge to it, which is kind of nice, especially if you're in a tactical situation where you're using gloves and it's just a little bit more friction there. And I like that there's some at the tail cap, so especially when you're kind of just relying upon one finger to hold the flashlight. That's great to see that there. One thing I do wish there was a little bit of knurling around the head. So if you do have this mounted and you're just using one hand to try and rotate the head, it would be a little bit more grip. It's a little bit slippery, especially if you're wearing gloves. Quick deconstruct of the light. The head, of course, rotates freely, but that doesn't really come off. The pocket clip just kind of comes right off, and the tail cap just unscrews. The light uses constant current, so it doesn't use pulse width modulation. For them to do that, they do a two-contact system. And so in the cap here, it has a spring connect and an outer ring for its secondary connection. And on the body of the light, it has a unanodized threading for one contact, and there's a second layer in here for the secondary contact. Quick look at this Fenix 18650. A lot of the major brands are coming out with these built-in integrated chargers. They're US micro USB. So I think that's pretty neat to have have that option. A lot of older flashlights don't have the integrated charger, so you have to pop the batteries out anyways and have to lug around another charger with it. But this allows you just to have a very, very mobile option. The micro USB charger is just on the side there, and putting the cable in, you can see that it's a little bit of a protruding, kind of comes out a little bit, but it's pretty tight. It's not too bad. I haven't lost connection at the head, so I'm glad that that's a solid connection. You can see the red light on the Fenix one here is turning on constant for charging, and when it's done charging, there's a white LED that will turn on and the red light will turn off. I found it only takes about 3.5–4 hours to charge this 3500 milliamp battery, so that's actually pretty good. It charges at a 1 amp current. I found that I think it tends to draw around 0.75 amps. But yeah, so that's pretty decent for an integrated charger on this size of battery. The only thing that I did notice that the anode side here gets pretty hot after a little bit. It won't cause a fire or anything, but maybe uncomfortable if you accidentally bump it with your hand. So taking a look at the pocket clip, I'm actually really happy with its design, and the band is much wider than I was hoping for, and the same with the clip itself. So it means it's very resilient, and the wider band is very useful in helping take off the clip, and the tabs are nice and rounded, so I'm not getting any nicks from that. I've actually been preferring the clip in the opposite position, the reverse side here, so I can have a little bit more grip on the barrel of the light. Taking a look at the head here, just want to show you what's going on. It actually only shows 2 LEDs at a time, even though there's 4. So there's 2 little reflectors here. They're a little bit deeper, so that's nice, which helps with beam performance, so that there's not just a shallow reflector for 4 LEDs. But so these 2 are exposed in the color mode. We have the blue on this side and the red on that side. And if I rotate the body, while keeping the head still, it exposes the white LEDs, the XPE. Alright, so taking a look at the buttons themselves, the primary tactical switch I feel kind of latches a little bit easier than I was expecting, but there definitely is some range. But if you're in a little bit of a rush, I think it tends to latch a little bit fast. The mode button itself, I think, has a good range on it as well. But the fact that the mode button's on sort of an angled plane, I thought at first would be more ergonomic than it actually is. I've tried holding it a bunch of different ways, but I feel like every time I need to get to the mode button, I have to actually sort of, let me see if I can show you that. I have to move my thumb to a different plane to actually get to it, so I'm kind of like level here, but then I have to change position to actually get it. So even trying it from the side, I have to kind of rotate my thumb in to get to it, or if it's above, I have to kind of push my thumb over and then down on it. So I'm just not sure if it's as comfortable as I thought it was going to be. It's a pressure tactical switch by Fenix. It's the AER03, which is compatible with the TK25 series. So you can see that it's pretty much replicating the original cap, and it has a pretty thick gauge cord, and it's very resilient, so you can stretch that pretty good and it comes back very easily. So that's great that it's really flexible but very sturdy. Here's the pressure pad. It has the tactical on-off. There's a little bit of click, but not too much. I know the tactical guys are always worried about noise that buttons make, and this is just a little pressure pad. So let's screw that on. And the caps are pretty easy to unscrew and screw back on, so that's been nice. You don't have to like push it too hard to turn it. Yeah, it operates like it would normally. It's in the off position, and so click the circle, the tactical button to turn the light on, and push the mode button here, the pressure pad, give a little tap to increase the brightness. The one thing you do have to do though, you still have to manually turn the head to get to the color mode. And it kind of still works the same. You can turn it off and turn it back on. You can have a momentary on, turn it on, and you can push the mode button to pick your color. But if you want to go back to white, you still have to go back and turn the head. So that's what you're getting into. There's the strobe. Switch back to color. Hold the pressure pad, and you get the momentary color. A couple of tabletop beam shots. We'll start with the white mode. That's the low. mid, high, and turbo. Let's switch over to the color mode. And the high red, low red, and the blue. I don't know if you kind of see, it has sort of a fluorescing effect on neon colors, bright colors. So it's kind of neat, almost like a little bit of a black light effect. I thought it was just going to be plain blue light, but it actually is pretty fun to play with. I also took this light outside, and I'll run some video of some outdoor beam shots that I took. So you can look at the blue light. It's actually pretty neat. Illuminates paint markings really well. Checking utility markings. Definitely fluoresces some of those more neon colors. Neon orange really shows up really well. The white does a little bit, but not too much. And there's the junction box over there for the electric. I don't know if you can see the paint on the dirt there. Alright, so overall I'm very happy with this light. I think the main draw for most people is going to be these bright LEDs, the 150 lumen red and the 60 lumen blue, the XPE LEDs from Cree. So I'm just excited to have that in my drawer for those kind of fun activities. Other than that, I think the construction is really solid. I really like the knurling and the pocket clip. The head design, the rotating head is kind of unique, and that allows the light to perform better with throw. Overall, I just kind of wish that all 4 LEDs were exposed. I would be okay with a little bit bigger head, but some handheld tactical guys probably wouldn't want a bigger flashlight head for that. But I would have been happier being able to control all colors and modes without having to physically move the head around. Also, the tail cap here, the button layout is a little bit uncomfortable for me, as I have to move my thumb a lot to get to the mode. But that's probably as designed for tactical folks who don't want to accidentally shift modes while they're in action. And so my thoughts on the pressure switch. Overall, I think it's awesome. I think it replicates the UI perfectly, and I think the only comment I would have is that the tactical button, it latches fairly easy, a little bit easier than the main tactical switch on the light. I kind of wish that there was some form of lockout mode. I think that the pouch, the holster that it comes with, does a pretty good job, and it comes head up, so the tail kind of goes into the pouch and is a little bit protected, so that offers a little bit of help to keep the light from being activated while it's in storage. Alright, so that's my review of Fenix's TK25 R&B. Thanks to Fenix for providing these for review. Check out my WordPress blog for a full review at civilgear.wordpress.com, and feel free to browse my YouTube channel for other videos and flashlight reviews. And feel free to leave a comment down below if there's any questions or if I missed anything. And we'll see you next time.